Welcome to Divergence, a personalized 2D and 3D fighting game comparison series. In these videos, I plan to show my experience playing my first 3D fighting game. In addition, I'll give my perspective on some of the differences between 2D and 3D fighting games. From my personal experience playing fighting games, I had played 2D fighting games exclusively. The main fighting games I had played were Guilty Gear and BlazBlue. I felt that switching games would be a great opportunity to improve in areas that I felt weak in. And, during the release of Tekken 7, there were a lot of newcomers to the game. This gave me a good opportunity to step into the playing field. So, to start, I watched a video of JDCR vs. Knee, and the neutral game in Tekken looked immaculate to me. I really liked how whiff punishing and punishes looked, as it's relatively clear in comparison to some 2D fighting games. With whiff punishing as one of the areas that I was weak in with regards to fighting games, it shows up heavily in Tekken by creating space to create opportunity for whiffs, or just reacting quickly to a whiffed attack and getting rewarded from the situation. From this footage alone, I decided to pick up Tekken 7. The knowledge that I gained from 2D fighting games were somewhat interchangeable to 3D fighting games, yet many things differed as well, and the options that you have in both games are quite varied. As I started up Tekken for the first time, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I checked to see if there were any sorts of tutorials or challenge modes, so that I could gather an understanding towards the basics of the game. However, that didn't exist, at least not endgame. The first thing you really get to see is training mode, the large roster of characters, and the list of moves, which can be very overwhelming since there's hundreds or so moves and combinations. In comparison to most 2D fighting games that have maybe 10 to 15 moves at most. Even though there was no tutorial mode, it didn't affect me too much. I still wanted to experience the game, and thankfully there's other sources of information provided through web browsing. The tutorials and documents helped ease the access by letting me know what I would be getting into. Whether or not I fully understood the concepts at the time, as I continued to play I knew it would eventually make more sense.